Hi, how you doing, guys?
Good, mate.
I make Martin and Simon completely right this morning. I think, Martin, you're right. I think he is going to be given the time. And I'm sort of split. I'm a bit partisan on this because I'm not quite sure what the plan is. I know I don't want to jump on a bandwagon, but I don't see the plan, much like everybody else does. We've got Johnny Evans, who I'm not doing him down at all because he's really trying his heart out, but he's not a Man United defender. Maguire, who's sort of stuck around because he says he wants to put out his stall and stay there. And we've sort of accepted that back because of injuries with Varane and Lisandro Martinez. But really, the leadership of this is just not strong enough. You've got people. I'll make Danny Murphy right, who I watched on Match of the Day and read on the BBC this morning. These players that aren't performing aren't being put to task. And he's right about Liverpool. It wouldn't happen at Liverpool. It wouldn't happen at Arsenal. It wouldn't happen at Man City. You've got a petulant team leader, a captain of the club, who throws his arms around and behaves like a child. That is not your leader of men. I listened to Roy Keane talk about it, saying it's your job. Yeah, it is his job, but he's not good enough at it. He should be performing week in, week out and rallying these people. You've got Pellistri, Hannibal, Garnacho, all champing at the bit to try and prove themselves on a stage. Give it to them. There are players in that side at the moment.
Stuart, I liked your little impersonation there of Roy Keane. Stuart, just in the passing, how much of the blame do you lay at the door of Ten Hag?
I think they all have to individually take responsibility for this. This is not something you can. I know you want to keep it talking about the pitch on the pitch, but Simon's right about you've got to look at the top of the tree, and it's going to take time if Jim Ratcliffe comes in. And I like this. This is a business. There's no two ways about it. This is not about Saturday football and it's fun and games and everything. Yeah. This has got to be run as a business.
Stuart, just before you go, is the gap between United and City widening as opposed to shortening?
I see Man City sort of maintaining what they're doing, but I see Man United dropping. And in that respect, yes, I do see it getting bigger. And it's not because City are getting better. It's because United are getting worse.
Sure, that's a great call. Thanks so much for getting us started. Paul's a big Manchester United fan. Paul, good morning. How much of the blame do you lay at the door of Ten Hag?
Morning, Jim. Morning, guys. Great show. I agree with some of the points that the previous caller made. Paul. And I'm not just going to jump on a bandwagon here because I'm going to give you three valid reasons. Ten Hag must be sacked. He has to go. And he has to go this week. And I'm going to give those three reasons. Number one, £400 million in recruitment. We had 160 million on the bench. We had 100 million in the stands. That's point number one. He's bought a striker that hasn't scored a goal in the Premier League at this moment in time. He's been given all the money. Point number two, what is our style? We are Manchester United. I'm an angry guy this morning. We have no style. He's been there now 16, 17 months. We are no better than we were than the day that he stepped into the club. And that is due to the recruitment of the players that he's brought in. And number three, the team reflects Ten Hag's personality. We all know a Dutchman can fall out in a telephone box with himself. The guy lacks the personality. He lacks a Klopp, a Guardiola, Arteta, you name, a Postecoglou. You've got Jude Bellingham, Declan Rice, Harry Kane, Maddison at Tottenham, three great English players, and Manchester United aren't even talked about in recruiting any of those players.
Wow, what a call, Paul. What a call.
The man is out of his depth, I'm afraid, and we have to nip it in the bud.
Paul, stay in the line.
Get it worse.
Let's stay in the line. You're going to speak directly with Martin Keown. So points 1, 2 and 3, what do you make of them then, Martin?
Well, point one, he's talking about expenditure. He's bang on. Because you look at the players and you look at what return they're getting, and they're not getting much return. Style of play is an issue. We just talked, didn't we, about Amrabat. He's supposed to be sitting in that midfield. I thought they started the game. Let's just go back to the game. I thought the first 10 or 15 minutes, Manchester United actually went toe-to-toe, but they're not capable of doing that, Jim, for very long within a game.
Yeah.
And then they got picked off. So style of play, he abandoned that at half-time. So his principles of the ideals he wants as a manager, they're not really being enforced. There's a lack of discipline. And then the third point was? Paul, what was your forward point?
Well, that was it. The team doesn't reflect his personality.
Yeah,
What do you
personality.
Ten
I think that's a good
what
point.
What are his principles?
Ten Hag's personality, and his personality is relatively dour. He hasn't got a personality that is going to empower the players. Let's think of who he's got rid of. We've got rid of Ronaldo, not the best episode. David De Gea was shooed out the club. Again, it wasn't the best end to him. We've got a 73 million player sat in the stands that he can't hold a conversation with and sort out an argument with. I just think the guy's maybe he's managed in Holland in the Eredivisie, where let's remember he lost a 3-goal lead in the Champions League semi-final to Tottenham, and he's managed, which we could say is successful, in a league that has.
So were you singing this song last year when you finished third in the league?
100%. Yeah, 100%.
You were.
And I wanted the Chelsea manager to be our manager. That's what I wanted.
Pochettino.
Ten Hag.
Yeah.
Pochettino.
Someone that's won virtually nothing. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. But I felt that he was more a Manchester United coach, as in he'd always done well with youth. And okay, he's got a different owner at Chelsea.
Did you expect the team to kick on? There was a lot of expectation as a result of finishing third and winning the League Cup. The team, it was expected because of the spend, and it's a spend that the manager wanted, that the board sanctioned one way or t'other. If you think the board are absentee landlords allowing him to do what you want, you're probably a little bit misguided because they'll be involved in it. But did you expect the team to kick on?
No, I didn't.
So what you're getting is what you priced into your thinking.
Yeah, because we haven't got a style of play, why was Mason Mount ever signed to the club? Because he's never going to fit in. We already had players that Mason Mount.
Paul, would you just...
So the recruitment was always going to be an issue as far as I was concerned.
Paul, a lot of people saying about Fernandes, take the captaincy off him. Would you take him out of the team? Do you think he's the problem as well? Because I'm not really sure what he does defensively. What does he do defensively?
Any other leaders?
Pardon?
There isn't any other leaders. I would take the captaincy off him, but I would be questioned. Who on earth can you give it to?
Well, Ten Hag should know that. Should know the answer to that if he's working with these players every day.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.